A detailed discussion of these passages and of the development of the biblical arguments for Indian origins
go ahead,
will be given below.
Read on.
Briefly, Luminous argument was the 10 tribes of Hebrews exiled to various parts of the Assyrian Empire by Shalmaneser had escaped to Osiris, which Luminous identified as India, or quote unquote America.
Right. So they was like, oh, because they had that lie. Oh, he was trying to find India. That wasn't it. He knew where he was going because, like I said above, you see how they, like you were saying, they toss some things in there sometimes. You can see above where they had said that he accepted despite its apocryphal standing. So they had got the idea from 4th Esdras or 2nd Esdras that they would be coming over here. And they successfully made that voyage during the Persian captivity. So that part down there, right? You see where it says the Assyrian Empire by Shalmaneser? That's when the slavery happened to where they had to kick all, and you know, they conquered, moved them all out, moved them around. Give me that. Go to that scripture. Give me that real quick. We have to get it. Yeah, real quick.
You know what else? Why they getting that? That it was in the Caribbean islands. This proves that Columbus knew where the hell he was going. They were trying to play like he was dumb.
You remember the movie?
14, or the Conquest of 1492?
Yeah,
something like that?
Yeah.
But I was on the quest, and that we was going to St. Lucia or I think Dominica or whatever. He skipped past that island to go to Puerto Rico. So it's telling you that he know where the hell he was going. So they need to start playing with Christopher Columbus didn't know what he was doing or whatever. He told you in the movie and in the books that I got it from 2nd Esdras. I know where I'm going. The earth ain't flat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That part right there with the asterisks. All right, so watch this. Give me that.
Luminous introduced most of the theological arguments which were later advanced to indicate a Hebrew origin for the Indians.
A Hebrew origin for the Indians. Go, what you got?
You
ain't got that?
Heavy, man. That's heavy.
Yeah, bring it out.
The basis for his story of how the Jews got to America was the 4th book of Ezra, whose authority, Luminous, 69, accepted despite its apocryphal standing.
Accepted despite
its apocryphal standing.
Right. So go ahead. What you got?
You know, apocryphal means something that ain't true.
Right.
But they trying to correlate it with the apocrypha or lost, right? So, but they do that. Said, move the camera real quick. Move me. It says, except despite its apocryphal standing, meaning or lost or it's not true standing. And they always throw little things out there to throw you off.
Yeah, because there was an argument and there was a big discussion about who are these people in America and are the Indians the real Hebrews? This whole book is going back and forth in that argument that and they had a big debate about it in Holland, and they had an issue about that. Right? Take me off. I want the people to see the words now. Now, when it says the 4th book of Esdras, for anybody who's unfamiliar, that's just talking about 2nd Esdras in the apocrypha. 1st Esdras is, I want to say, is Ezra. Then 2nd Esdras is Nehemiah. 3rd Esdras is 1st Esdras in the apocrypha, and 4th Esdras is 2nd Esdras in the apocrypha. Okay. Now, the authority of...
You're going to learn today.
You definitely are going to learn. Come on.
The authority of 4th Kings and the prophet Isaiah supported the Ezra account.
4th Kings is 2nd Kings in the Bible. 1st Kings is 1st Samuel. So go ahead.
A detailed discussion of these passages and of the development of the biblical arguments for Indian origins
go ahead,
will be given below.
Read on.
Briefly, Luminous argument was the 10 tribes of Hebrews exiled to various parts of the Assyrian Empire by Shalmaneser had escaped to Osiris, which Luminous identified as India, or quote unquote America.
Right. So they was like, oh, because they had that lie. Oh, he was trying to find India. That wasn't it. He knew where he was going because, like I said above, you see how they, like you were saying, they toss some things in there sometimes. You can see above where they had said that he accepted despite its apocryphal standing. So they had got the idea from 4th Esdras or 2nd Esdras that they would be coming over here. And they successfully made that voyage during the Persian captivity. So that part down there, right? You see where it says the Assyrian Empire by Shalmaneser? That's when the slavery happened to where they had to kick all, and they conquered, moved them all out, moved them around. Give me that. Go to that scripture. Give me that real quick. We have to get it. Yeah, real quick.
You know what else? Why they getting that? That it was in the Caribbean islands. This proves that Columbus knew where the hell he was going. They were trying to play like he was dumb.
You remember the movie?
14, or the Conquest of 1492?
Yeah,
something like that?
yeah.
But I was on the quest, and that we was going to St. Lucia, or I think Dominica or whatever. He skipped past that island to go to Puerto Rico. So it's telling you that he know where the hell he was going. So they didn't start playing with Christopher Columbus didn't know what he was doing or whatever. He told you in the movie and in the books that I got it from Second Esdras. I know where I'm going. The earth ain't flat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was arguing
You know, it's crazy because it said in the book that we just read, right, that he went to the islands of Hispaniola.
And Hispaniola is talking about the Dominican Republic and the land of Haiti. That's the land of island Hispaniola.
They get it. What we got?
Second Esdras chapter 13 and verse 40.
Uh-huh.
Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoner out of their own land.
That's Israel. Go ahead.
In the time of Hosea the king, whom Shalmaneser,
like we just read in the book. Go ahead.
the king of Assyria.
You know what this proves? That the Bible is historical.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's what it proves. Because we got documents from men who had arguments back, that ain't long ago, 1492. That ain't that long ago. Ain't that long ago.
And also, even if people want to say stuff like Moses wasn't real and all of that, then Shalmaneser was a real king.
Yeah, he was a real guy.
if everybody else in the Bible ain't real, then how is he real?
It's just our people, our forefathers ain't real.
That's what it is. It's just
the
us.
heathens are real.
Okay.
You had something, Joe, look like you was about to say something.
I was trying to explain. Yeah, the Bible they was teaching the Bible in the school at one point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they took the Bible out. Why would they teach the Bible in the school and then took it out all of a sudden?
Right.
Because they knew that children of Israel was going to eventually wake up faster.
Hey, you know what you're saying is heavy because, and we're going to get to it, but they had set up boarding schools for Gad. And they had the Bible, but they try to use that to subject them.
It's all in Avatar. We gonna get there.
Yeah, we're going to get there. You almost made me jump. All right, real quick. Keep going. Yeah.
Whom Shalmaneser, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
Now, the misconception between the scholars is they think that right there is talking about when they first start to make their voyage to America. That's not it. Yeah, that's when we get to them going into captivity underneath the Assyrians, right? So, in 538 BC, y'all can write this down, 538 BC underneath Cyrus, that's when verse 41 takes place. Read that.
But they took this counsel amongst themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen, and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
Now, these basic things, apologetics, the Christian pastors, the people like the Calvinists, they assume that they know the Bible. Deacon Ithan said something heavy in yesterday's class, which is true. And we all should take heed to something like that, which is, a lot of times they like to branch off into theology and talk about different things like that. What about this? Well, how about these holidays that you still keeping? Okay, well, Thanksgiving, you got to think about it. Thanksgiving is a day celebrated for the destruction of Northern Kingdom. It's Gad, yes, but Northern Kingdom. Yeah, it's Northern Kingdom. We conquered all of the Indian tribes. Right, we focus on Gad because they were the last to get conquered, but they had a lot of Issachar that was up in there on the western side. They had a lot of Reuben that was all up in there. It was all of them up in there, right? And there was a lot that had to take place up until the point that they got destroyed. And so they was like, Thanksgiving is a celebration of all of those 100 years that we was fighting with these dudes, and we finally got them. What you had?
That's when they finally subdued them, and then they came up with that Thanksgiving mess.
Yeah.
Now we just celebrate it without thinking about it at all. What happened to it?
Right. So that's why they prepare a table for that troop, like you was bringing out earlier. Yeah, they y'all are celebrating because that's why I apologize. A lot of what y'all saying don't make sense because you still celebrate the same stuff that your ancestors wound up getting forced to serve. And some of y'all wind up thinking that you might be Gad. And so what you're doing is doing the disrespect and doing an honor to the man who wanted to rape, robbing, and murdering your family.
And these are same people that can't watch these kind of movies because they make them vexed.
Yeah.
Because it's in your blood, but you want to not think about these things because you don't believe that there's no origin. And everything has an origin.
Everything
has an origin. Well, that was back then. What about now? No, the origin still play a factor.
Hey, you know what's crazy? because I can tell that we're on somewhat of a tear, and I'm about to lay it to them brothers. Because look, check it. Wait till December. Just wait, because a lot of y'all love Christmas. We did it last year. We're going on another level this year.
Cat, I'm gonna go a little deep with you. That's the reason why would the heathen celebrate Passover? It wouldn't make sense for them to celebrate Passover.
Right.
That was our time that we got delivered.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So Thanksgiving is basically the same thing. That's the time they took this land, and now they celebrate it.
Right.
And it don't make sense for us to celebrate that.
Yeah. Hey. Right. A lot of this stuff, and I'm gonna go back to it. It's just this tear is getting to me, right? A lot of the stuff that they wind up doing, people like to get real technical with how they understand God. When let's you can understand God in its simplicity as keeping His commandments and the faith in Christ. They try to get technical with doctrine and this, that, and the third. When really, they try to put the most wickedest time, this is how they say it, most wicked time around when women reveal themselves in the summer, and they do the same thing in the winter. But you gotta wonder, how is it you have so much knowledge and something easy to find out, like once winter come in, why are you still celebrating the same things you say you don't celebrate but your kids do? Why are you still going after Halloween? And you smart, but you celebrating Halloween, okay. You're celebrating Thanksgiving, saying you're giving thanks to God. Meanwhile, God that you're giving thanks to is the one that conquered you. Okay, get thumbs up. Thumbs up to you guys. Then also, you're celebrating Christmas. That's when you blacks, check this out. I'm sorry, check this out. I'm on a rant right now. So Thanksgiving all praises is when they actually destroyed Northern Kingdom, right? So like, all right, we got them. Now we need to worry about Southern Kingdom. A month later, right? You have Christmas. That's what, all right, we finally conquered Southern Kingdom now. We got them. So now that we conquered both kingdoms, we started over here, then we went over there and got the Moors, and then now got them and brought them as Christmas presents. Those two holidays are a representation of the two kingdoms being destroyed. And y'all celebrated. We're going to get y'all. Damn. Watch this. Give me the next one.
Never go.
Oh, did we finish it? Give me that. I'm sorry, I went on a rant.
41.
This is 538 BC with Cyrus. Come on.
But they took this counsel amongst themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
Where never mankind dwelt, or Arsareth, in other words, America. They said in the book, I forget how it was worded. Hold on, I want to get the words that it said. I had it highlighted. Give me a second. Oh, here it is. It says, it may well be that he chose to call America Mundus Novus to indicate that the world he was describing was unknown to the ancients. That's what it was. So, go ahead, read on.
That they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
And that was the tribe of Mohawk. That was the Mohawk tribe within Gad that we just read about. Go ahead.
And they entered into Euphrates.
And they're the ones that pushed it. It wasn't just them doing it. They pushed it. They were the enforcers. Go ahead.
And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river.
Right.
For the Most High then shewed signs for them and held still the flood.
Right.
Till they were passed over.
Right. And they went through the Euphrates and around Africa. Made a lot of stops, but then eventually made their way to America. Go ahead.
For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half.
Read.
And the same region is called Arsareth.
Read.
Then dwelt they there until the latter time.
Until the last days. Read.
And now when they shall begin to come.
And now when they shall begin to come. It's almost time for them, or now it's time for them to wake up. Right. Give me the next image. That whole scripture is explaining everything we're about to read right here. That right there, just reference that. All right, zoom in. All right, so watch this. Furthermore,
he noted the Indians of Mexico had traditions of long journeys, such as the one from Assyria to Osiris.
Right. That was namely of a year and a half, like we just read. Go ahead.
They also had traditions of flights. Such as the Exodus from Egypt.
Right.
Other proofs included common traditions of earthquakes which swallowed evil men and of objects, manna.
So check that out. Other proofs included common traditions of earthquakes which swallowed evil men of objects, manna, falling from heaven. Where is that found at, brothers?
Numbers.
So they said, the Aztecs had that in them. Why do they have the same things the Hebrews have? Go ahead.
And the fact that an old Indian had begun his tale of the origins of his people with the words, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
Right.
This story.
That's obvious. That's so obvious. Go ahead.
This story, Duran reported, roughly paralleled Genesis 1 to 2, 6 and 11.
And 11, go ahead.
Finally, Duran compared the secret mountain sacrifices, legends of pests, plagues, wars, and other disasters, child sacrifice, and cannibalism.
And cannibalism, go ahead.
He thought all these legends.
Now, some of that when it says child sacrifice, cannibalism, is going into Deuteronomy 28.
Right.
Go ahead.
He thought all these legends and myths were common to both the Indians and the lost tribes of Israel.
Give me the next one. I'm setting the foundation, so when we go over Avatar, it's not foreign. All of this stuff plays a part. Just watch it.
Got to get the blueprint now.
We gotta get the blueprint. We gotta.
Page 71.
Give me that.
The question why the Indians failed to observe Mosaic Law as the Jews did everywhere else still remained.
So it's talking about Southern Kingdom, right? But go ahead.
Garcia's contention that their intention did not match their action was incomplete. The answer lay in the character of the 10 tribes.
Come on.
The Bible, RSV, clearly indicated that the lost tribes was disposed to evil and idolatry.
So now, they were disposed to evil and idolatry. That's true. Because they had somebody over here to enforce the law, but they still gave themselves over to other gods. And we're going to get into that about what they called their other god. Now, it says RSV, but it's supposed to be KJV.
Right.
Even still, 2 Kings 17 is the correct scripture. It's just not the whatever R is. But go ahead.
Right.
This disposition, no doubt, was strengthened by contact with such people as the Tatars and Mongols during the journey to Osiris.
Right, go ahead.
Actually, the Indians did appear to keep certain parts of the law in certain areas.
Like what?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, it was tabernacles. Yes. Why is this one? I want this next one.
The Indians, the Incas.
The Incas. Now, the Incas, that's Asher. That's Asher. Asher, right? The tribe of Asher. Go ahead.
Held a festival in March.
Called what?
Similar to the Passover.
Wow.
That's right.
Wow. We talking about the real Hebrews. Right. They were over here doing things like the real Jews. Interesting. Right. Come on.
And,
you had something?
Nah, the next part.
Go ahead.
Well, the next part, the Yucatan Indians practice circumcision.
Okay, that's another one. They practiced the same thing Abraham did. Okay.
You know who else the Yucatan was?
Break it out.
The Yucatan, if you watch Black Panther Part 2, that was Namor and them.
Oh, that's right. Let's get it.
That's another movie we're gonna do.
We're gonna get it.
We're gonna get it.
Mexicans.
Page 128.
Right here it says Mexicans.
Oh, you want me to keep going?
Yeah.
Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay. Mexicans and Incas had eternal altar fires.
Now, hold on real quick. Let me get your precept. Hold that page right there. Give me picture in picture for a quick second. Give me Leviticus 6 and 12. Let me show you, because it says they will keep the laws in this country, right? Leviticus 6 and 12. It's funny, because we were just talking about this yesterday.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 6 and verse 12. And the fire upon the altar shall be burning in it.
It shall be burning in it.
It shall not be put out.
It shall what?
Not be put out.
It shall not be put out. Go ahead.
And the priest shall burn wood on it every morning, and lay the burning offerings
and lay the burnt offering, go ahead,
in order upon it.
Read.
And he shall burn thereon the fat of the peace offerings.
Read on.
The fire shall ever be burning upon the altar.
And what?
It shall never go out.
There it is right there. So when we read that, that's the same practices like it did under the Mosaic Law. So read that part again. What we was at?
Mexicans and Incas had eternal altar fires.
Eternal altar fires. They shall never go out, like we just read. Go ahead.
Some Nicaraguans would not allow women who had recently given birth into the temples.
Now, why wouldn't they do that? Why wouldn't they do that? Because it's in the law. Come on.
Other parts of the law observed at various places included those which said that men should not sleep with women who had recently given birth.
Why? I tell you. Yeah, y'all ain't getting around it. You're not getting around the Bible. And you Gadites that don't trust the Bible, stop being simple. They use the Bible to make you a slave. They did the same thing in the Southern Kingdom. The only difference is Southern Kingdom had enough balls to wind up getting back up and realizing that this book is a revolutionary book. It's not the thing it's not what they called it. It's actually ours. It's yours. You Gadites out there, you Native Indians out there, stop being simple. I don't care how rough you think you are. Stop being simple. Come on.
Oh man, this is fire. Right?
Just because I just want to make sure you get the script represent. That's Leviticus 12.
Oh, come on now.
As well, 1 through 3. Just in case you think we're just talking.
Oh, Numbers. Numbers 12.
No, Leviticus 12.
Leviticus 12.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking about.
When you go up, though. No, but when you go up, right? When you scroll back up, we were talking about cannibalism and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's also Hosea 8:13. Can you just get that real quick?
Yeah.
Go back up, scroll up real quick. I just want to touch it.
It is a little bit. It is a big as well.
You all right? It's all right. We have a little moments. But what was the part? I just want to touch it only for this reason. I just want to make a point. Go up, scroll up on the screen where it's talking about cannibalism just real quick. Was this the screen or was it before?
I think it was the previous one.
Was it the previous one?
No, scroll down. I think it's somewhere the sacrifices, legends, pests. Yeah, that was it.
Go back.
Go back.
Just read it real quick. I just want to show you
Right at
something.
the bottom there. Yeah, right at the bottom.
Go ahead.
Okay, finally, Duran compared the secret mountain sacrifices, legends of pests, plagues, wars, and other disasters, child sacrifice, and
So
cannibalism.
it said child sacrifice and cannibalism, right? But they're still trying to make a correlation between, is it Hebrew or things like that? That's the argument still.
Yeah.
Hosea 8:13.
Book of Hosea, chapter 8 and verse 13. They sacrifice flesh for the sacrifices of mine offerings, and eat it.
So we're talking about northern kingdom. We're talking about northern kingdom of Israel. Watch this. Go ahead.
But the Lord accepted them not.
Why?
Now will he remember their iniquity and visit their sins? They shall return to Egypt.
They shall go into slavery, because Egypt means bondage, slavery. Go ahead.
For Israel have
Read that slow.
for
Wait a
Israel
minute, for who?
for Israel
So ain't Israel come from the progenitor of the Hebrews?
Yep.
Read it again.
For Israel have forgotten his maker.
So when they was doing back on the screen, that was doing sacrifice and cannibalism, God said they had what?
Forgotten his maker. And builded temples.
Come on.
And Judah have multiplied fenced cities.
Go ahead.
But I will send a fire upon his cities, and it shall devour the places, the palaces thereof.
So this proved that they are Israelites, or they're Hebrews as well, because they fell into cannibalism and sacrifices of human flesh.
That's it.
So it's still proven, regardless of them doing wickedly, that God said they was.
Right.
They've forgotten their maker. That proves that we are the Israelites still.
Apocalypto.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, yep. Apocalypto. Hey, real quick, let's continue to move on. I won't get past this book because they have a little bit more. The last one we was at, I forget where it was at.
We're at 128.
That's where we at. Give me 128. I'm gonna trust that.
128. Origins of the American Indians.
Yeah. Now we at the very bottom where I made sure I highlighted everything.
These hidden people were Jews.
Pause right there. These hidden people were Jews.
When you stop on the first sentence, these hidden,
That's it. Go ahead.
these hidden people were Jews, brought to the sea by the providence of God.
Yeah, brought to the area, right? Yeah. We on the same page, ain't we?
Yeah, 128.
These hidden people were Jews.
Yeah, brought to the area.
Yeah, brought to the area.
Oh,
by
you
the
said
providence.
C.
Oh, shit.
This guy.
My bad.
Yeah,
Brought
go
to
ahead.
the area by the providence of God. The Indians had made war on them initially,
Okay.
but they had failed.
Read.
And eventually the natives became followers of the Jews.
Read.
Then the Spanish came.
Then the Spanish came.
So the Indians kept their Judaism secret.
So now they kept their Judaism a secret from the conquerors. I'm gonna say it again when we get to the video. They kept their Judaism a secret from the conquerors. Okay, go ahead.
These hidden Jews revealed to Antonio that they would soon emerge.
They will soon emerge,
cast out the Spanish,
cast out the Spanish,
and reunite with Israel.
Whoa.
The book of Manasseh. Which is in the apocryphal.
You know that's crazy.
Go
Because
next page. Go ahead.
That shows that we are a sacred people. We
Yeah.
don't let everybody in our nation.
We don't let-
If we don't know you're not part of our nation, so this ain't nothing new when Edomite or Esau, these theologians try to come in, let us help you. No, we don't need no help.
Yeah.
We are sacred people to ourselves people.
Yeah, we good. Check this out. Manasseh was.
Move the picture. Manasseh was the first Jew to write a study concerning the origins of the American Indians, and apparently one of the first Jews to accept the Jewish origin theory.
What's that? Hymerson?
Yeah, I don't know. Go ahead.
His arguments was largely a rehash of the older writings on the lost tribes theory.
Now that was part of what I was making mention of earlier about the argument. The lost tribes theory is what it was going into, right? And it's back and forth between people who were over on the other side of the world, and then the scholars that were per se the Jesuits also traveling, saying who these people really were. But go ahead.
He admitted, as he had previous commentators, that the problem of discovering origins posed many difficulties.
Right.
Then he systematically rejected other theories. Carthage, Ophir, et.al.
Which, by the way, Israelites were there in Carthage, and so. But go ahead.
And concluded that those Spaniards who inhabited the Indies generally regarded the Indians as descendants of Jews, and that they were correct.
Boom. There it is. All right, scroll down.
Leggy.
So you so-called Indians are the real Hebrews. Go ahead, y'all the Israelites. Go ahead.
According to Manasseh's version of the Lost Tribes theory, the Israelites got the New World first, but late-coming Gentiles drove them into the mountains.
Wow. Damn. Wow.
If that ain't fire. I don't
Wow.
know.
Go ahead.
The Jewish characteristics evident. The Jewish characteristics evident among
Later arrivals.
where we at? The later arrivals resulted from the contact with the Jews.
Go ahead.
Next, he proceeded
Notice
with
it says the Jewish characteristics evident among the later arrivals resulted from their contact with the Jews. One has Jewish, one has Jews. Because remember, the Jewish paid for the voyages of the slave trade to happen.
Right.
And they was already getting their foothold and whatnot. But anyways, go ahead.
Next, he proceeded with the Esdras story and supporting similarities between the Indians and the Jews.
Between the Indians and the Jews. Go ahead.
He concluded with the reasons which compelled him to believe the discovery of the lost tribes in America signalized that the day of redemption for Israel was near.
Wow. Go ahead. Yeah, there's a lot here. Go ahead.
Manasseh concluded.
So now, each of these are points. So it's going to have 7 different points here. Here's the first one. Give me that. Move me.
Manasseh included that the Indies were anciently inhabited by parts of the 10 tribes who came via the Strait of Anian, and some of whom still live hidden in unknown parts
So
of
that was
America.
number 1. Now, the Straits of Anian, that's the part where they're talking about the Bering Strait. That ain't it. But anyways, what the point I want you to take out of that is they're making the similarity between the Indians and Israel. Go ahead.
That not all the 10 tribes came to the New World.
That's true. All of them didn't. Go ahead.
But that some dispersed to other parts of the world.
That's true. Some of them did, because some got left over on the other side. Go ahead.
That they did not return to the second temple.
Go ahead.
That to this day, the lost tribes kept the Jewish religion.
So they still kept it. They still kept their religion. They kept their Judaism a secret. Go ahead.
That the prophecies of their return to their own land would be fulfilled.
That it would be fulfilled. Read.
That they will return to Jerusalem.
They'll return to Jerusalem.
And that the 12 tribes would be united.
Fire. So we know what we talking about. We know what we talking about. That's it on that book, right?
Hey, this book is for white eyes only.
Yeah, it definitely is.
You just read that in 2nd Esdras 13.
Most definitely.
When it said it at the end. When it said for the 46, then dwelt they there until the latter time, and now when they shall begin to come.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.